413 WMAZ Morning starts now.
Broke a record yesterday again here in central Georgia. 84, the high temperature is just shy of the all-time February record. What will we do today? That answers next.
I believe she was breeding some of these animals, maybe grooming some of these animals. I believe it just overwhelmed her.
3 suspects now in jail in connection to animal abuse. What the Monroe County Sheriff says he believes happened. Plus, soon people in Macon will wake up after an overnight sleepout. How much Daybreak Macon raised to help out the homeless so far.
And more information on the push for security cameras to go up around town. We bring you what happened, plus what some people think about it.
Good Friday morning, Central Georgia. You're taking a live look over a beautiful downtown Macon. The time is now 6:31 a.m. here on this February the 24th. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Wanye Reese. We have finally made it to the end of the work week. I know for some of you watching, your work week might just be starting, but hey, we're still happy that it is Friday. Let's get you straight to meteorologist Alex Forbes. He has a check on your forecast.
Yeah, good morning, Wanye. We're looking live over downtown. The sun going to be coming up here in the next 30 minutes or so. 70 degrees, the current number here in Macon, Warner Robins, Dublin, 68 in Perry and Milledgeville. For reference, our average low for today is 41. So we are 29 degrees warmer than that this morning here in central Georgia. Spinning around from Jeffersonville, the radar is not finding anything out there this morning. We've got 69 in Forsyth, 69 in Roberta, 70 in Warner Robins, as I said, 66 out in Swainsboro, and 69 waking up in Americus this morning across the southeast. A little more unsettled once you get into northern Mississippi, parts of Tennessee, over into Arkansas. A steadier rain this morning. This is a cold front that's trying to slide down to the north and to the west. But for today, or to the north and west, to the south and east, it is to the north and west. Wow, there we go. 70s later on this afternoon. I'm going with a high temperature of 80 before all is said and done, with a 20% chance of showers and storms. 77 for tomorrow, followed by 80 on Sunday. Overall, a great weekend for baseball here in central Georgia. But we do have a small shower and storm chance, as you just saw, for today and tomorrow. We'll talk more about that with an hour-by-hour look at Future View next.
Thank you, Alex. For a third day, crews are preparing to head out to search for the missing swimmer at Amerson River Park. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office spent the last 2 days searching for a missing 22-year-old man in the Ocmulgee River. On Wednesday, 3 people went swimming at Amerson River Park, but only 2 made it back to shore. The Department of Natural Resources and Macon Bibb Fire Department are helping out in the search. The search will resume shortly this morning. This morning, 3 people sit in jail in connection to an animal abuse case in Monroe County. The 3 suspects turned themselves in to deputies yesterday. Sheriff Brad Freeman says they found more than 50 animals in poor condition at a home on Smith Street. Freeman says they also found several animals dead. The survivors are getting spread around to help with care as they try and regain their health. The sheriff's office says many of the animals were malnourished and at least 6 were dead. Freeman says this was a breeding situation gone wrong.
I believe she was breeding some of these animals, maybe grooming some of these animals. I believe it just overwhelmed her. I believe they were in the process of being evicted from the house. And most of the dogs were what I would call purebred dogs. They go for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And I'm sure it was just greed. And then they just got overwhelmed.
It's now 6:33. This morning, 2 teens remain in the hospital after they were both involved in a shooting at Anthony Homes in Macon. We went out to the scene at the intersection of Wren Avenue and Heron Street after it all happened yesterday. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says witnesses saw 2 groups at the location and they were shooting at each other. Both groups immediately left the scene and the Sheriff's Office got a call from the hospital that 2 teenagers came in. Right now, the 18-year-old boy is in stable condition. The 19-year-old remains in critical condition. Getting into your state news this morning, attorneys for Jared Hobbs say the charges against their client are now dropped. Hobbs was beaten by Camden County deputies in September of last year, and then charges were actually filed against him. We have some video of the beating we're getting ready to show you, and I just want to warn you, it's graphic. His attorneys also say in a press release they have reached a significant settlement with the Camden County Sheriff's Office. The 3 officers involved, Braxton Massey, Mason Garrick, and Ryan Bugle, were all arrested and charged with battery of an inmate and violating the oath of office. Hobbs' attorneys originally called for the investigation last November. This morning, Governor Brian Kemp is one step closer to making one of his promises. Georgia taxpayers may soon get another check from the government. Yesterday, the governor tweeted that the Georgia House passed a bill that would return $1 billion to taxpayers. That means Georgia tax filers could get an income tax rebate of anywhere from $250 to $500. The bill now goes to the state Senate, and if there's no issues, it will go to the governor's desk for his signature. A bill on workplace discrimination against pregnant women now stands before lawmakers. It would protect women from being denied opportunities, being forced to accept less pay, or being forced to resign if asking for accommodations. It's called the Pregnancy Protection Act. The bill does give some businesses leeway to exempt themselves, but backers say the workplace protections in the bill for pregnant women would be substantial. Democrat supporters say a hearing on the bill would include testimony from women who've lost their job because they were pregnant. We're coming up on 6:36. The 10th annual Daybreak sleepout is still happening as I speak. 90 people will soon wake up at Creighton Park after spending the night there. 8-year-old Carter from Warner Robins raised, get this, $75 to help out the homeless community here in Central Georgia. Last night he gave the money to the people at Daybreak.
I'm saying, hey, my grandpa has a bunch of boxes in the back of his U-Haul shop. So I went to go get this box, and I got a red marker and a black marker, and I just started drawing.
Oh, I love it. Daybreak is a nonprofit that provides support services to people impacted by homelessness in Macon. The event ends at 9 this morning, and folks have been out there since 5:30 yesterday afternoon. So far, organizers say they've raised about $255,000. Beating their goal of $250,000, and they expect more. You can donate online at MaconSleepout.com. And Daybreak says the money helps them throughout the year. New safety measures will soon be coming to Creighton Park in downtown Macon. Our morning reporter TJ Anthony joins us live in studio with more on the County Commission's decision to improve some new surveillance cameras. Good morning to you, TJ.
Good morning, Wani. That's right. The Daybreak sleepout is underway right now, as you just said. People slept out in Creighton Park overnight to raise awareness for the homeless. Now, security is one of the reasons Macon-Bibb County's commission approved a new surveillance camera system that will actually go in Creighton Park. Now, they'll pay $700,000 for about 60 cameras in downtown Macon along Riverwalk and also in the park. Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller says events like Daybreak sleepout and the upcoming Cherry Blossom Festival are the driving force behind the park cameras. Will Stanford is a camper at the ongoing Daybreak sleepout. He doesn't feel too strongly either way about the cameras, but he says he's not surprised.
I mean, you have a camera and connected to your phone that's probably connected to the internet 24/7 anyway, so it's nothing short of that.
Mayor Lester Miller says he believes they'll start rolling out the cameras in the next few weeks. Some of them may be here in time for Cherry Blossom. Wanya, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, TJ, for that report. Fort Valley State University and the Macon Housing Authority now have the same camera system. Well, the stars of the sports world are shining brightly in Macon for this weekend. The Georgia Sports Hall of Fame is hosting its 67th annual induction ceremony. The big weekend starts with a golf tournament at Barrington Hall today. There's a free fan fest tomorrow at the Hall of Fame building downtown where you can hang out with some Georgia sport greats. The dinner and induction ceremony is a ticketed event at the Macon City Auditorium tomorrow evening. New inductees include former Atlanta and Macon Brave Andrew Jones, Mark Rich, Sean Jones, and quarterback of Georgia Tech to the title in 1990, and 5 others. Candles, air fryers, and fires. There's a few products that you should stop using due to recent recalls. Coming up, we'll tell you those products. Plus, many adults in America read below a 6th grade reading level. How a motivational speaker used social media to improve his reading. It's now 6:39. Alex has a check of your forecast. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Vanya. We are looking live over the Georgia National Fairgrounds. The rodeo got underway yesterday. It's going to last through tomorrow, and it's a warm rodeo this year here in Central Georgia. 68, the current number waking up in Perry. Right now, our average low for this morning is 41. So yeah, 25, 26, 27 degrees warmer than that this morning across the area. 70 in Macon, 70 in Jeffersonville, Irwinton, Dudley, 70 back over towards Dublin, 69 in Butler and Montezuma at this hour, and 68 down in Sumter County this morning. The dew points, they are up there, so it does feel kind of sticky outside, but we do have a light wind out there, which is preventing any fog from developing on this Friday morning. Now, through the morning hours, a shower or two will be possible. However, over the past hour or so, we have not seen anything here across Central Georgia. But here's what I'm alluding to on Future View. You see a few green blips here as we work our way through the morning hours. This is a cold front coming in from the northwest, providing an axis for some showers to form along. But then once we get later into the afternoon, notice how we mix some yellows and oranges. Maybe a storm or two will be possible. Emphasis on the maybe there. I think the better chance obviously will be for showers, but 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder are not out of the picture. However, the likelihood of staying dry today is actually fairly high at about 80% with the 20% chance of rain. Then into tomorrow morning, I know there's still a few showers here on Future View, but with this northerly wind and the temperatures a little cooler, the front trying to get down towards the south, I don't think our chance of rain is all too high tomorrow morning, but once we get to tomorrow afternoon, we'll bump that back up to about 30% as the winds shift once again. So carries us into Sunday, starting the day off overcast here in central Georgia, but mixing in a lot more sun on Sunday than we will on Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, the Cantrell Center 5K comes your way tomorrow morning. 50s to start the race, 60s throughout, 9-11 a.m. Connor Hines and I will be down there in Warner Robins emceeing the event. Should be great weather-wise with overcast skies in Warner Robins. Also a great weekend for baseball. Mercer baseball back in town. Now, as I alluded to, we do have a chance of rain tonight, but I didn't add it into this graphic here because I do think the likelihood of staying dry is fairly high. Then for Saturday, temperatures in the 70s before we touch 80 on Sunday with more sun across central Georgia. Now, yesterday we did break another record. 84 was the record, or is the new record now. 82 was the record set back in 2022. This is now 2 consecutive days of breaking records. Today's record 83, but I'm only going with a high temperature of 80, so I'm not forecasting to break that today, but still, coming close to it. The slight possibility of a storm, otherwise isolated showers, winds out of the west, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunrise in the next few minutes here at 7:08, and for the weekend, I've got 77 for Saturday, 80 on Sunday. Saturday morning going to feel great with those overnight lows in the 50s. Second cold front worked its way through here Monday night into Tuesday. 70s return as March begins on Wednesday.